Hello again, Card Media. It's RJ back with another video. My last video was a box opening of the 1984 Topps Rubdowns. And I've told you I had the 1985 box as well. Then we did it 2 years, so today I'm going to open up my 1985 box. The video was getting a little long yesterday, so I'm going to do this one today. I'm going to show you real quick again for those people who may have missed the other one and just popped on this one what a rub down is. I'll let you watch the old video for the full description, but basically you got these little sheets of cellophane with kind of stickers on the back, but they would adhere to paper surfaces, but you have to like kind of press down on them. And it said use a coin. A lot of people use pencils or whatever. And let me do it this way. I can't do it. Just take my coin. We did the one head. Yesterday I did Terry Kennedy's head to show you. Today I'll do the Tommy John head. Right next to Terry. And you just put them down and you take your coin or whatever it is and you rub. And again, it's important to get every corner of the image, because if you don't, it'll tear. I know from experience back when I was a kid and these things were popular. I never got the baseball ones, but I did have, I can't even remember which cartoon series I had. Something might have even just been the Peanuts. And then you pull it off and it is no longer on this cellophane sheet. It is now attached to whatever paper product you attached it to. And again, these things came in, they had scenes in the old days. I still say I don't know why Topps didn't insert like a baseball background in here, but hey, whatever. So I have here a box, 1985 Topps Rubdowns. Yesterday I did the 1984, or last video, let me put it that way. You can see it says 72 sheets. There's 72 of those individual sheets inside 36 packs. And it says 36 sticks of bubble gum. So you know there's 2 sheets in each pack. 72 title sheets. There's only 32 sheets in a set, so I kind of hope to get everything. But when I got done yesterday, just so you know, I put it in the description yesterday in case you didn't watch this one, but I ended up with 23 out of the 32. Everything else was a double, so I got a little work on my trading to get through all of them. See what we can do about that. Let's start ripping. See if I can get all 32 sheets. And again, there's no numbers on this at all. So they look a lot the same. If you remember yesterday's video, if you go back to yesterday's video, a lot of these images are exactly the same. The Nolan Ryan's exactly the same. The only difference, the only way you know if you're a collector of these things, the only way you'll know if you've got the 84 or 85 version is the copyright date, because they just use the exact same image. So again, I got only 23 out of the 32, so I'm going to have to use some trade and whatnot to get all the rest. Trying to find the Hall of Famers in this set. I'm not even sure if there's anybody different the way they did it. And no, I'm not going to eat the gum in case for those people. Oh, I got 3 in this one. Woohoo! That's what you call a new pack hit. You got to be careful about these. The tissue paper falls off, and it's important that the tissue paper stay with it, because without the tissue paper, the images will start to cling to things. So that one doesn't have a Hall of Famer on it at all. I realized I was going through it so fast I missed a couple of the Hall of Famers from the other one. Like there were Cal Ripken headshots that I missed. Here's Alan Trammell. So all of those are still new ones that I hadn't had before. So we're up to 5 after just 2 packs. That's pretty cool. Maybe we're on a roll here. Maybe we'll get them done. And if you watch my channel a lot, I tell everybody I'm not a ripper. I don't like to rip product. I think, especially, well, new product. I don't like to rip new product. I don't know how many people want to see me and all of the million other YouTubers out there opening up Topps Series 1, Topps Series 2, Topps Heritage, Bowman. Because after a while, well, you've seen them all. And, you know, if you buy into breaks, it doesn't take long before you have them all. I mean, it does get tiresome watching everybody open. We watch for the hits, let's be honest. We watch to see. What do we got here? Another Nolan Ryan card there. Back came off this guy. Tony Aramis, Harold Baines card there. We watch for the hits. That's what really fascinates us as collectors, when these guys open up those gigantic and score a huge autograph or a huge rookie parallel. That's when we go bonkers. That's when we get all excited. Here's your Steve Carlton. Again, these images are exactly the same as yesterday. Steve Carlton over here is, I'm not sure, Frank White is not a Hall of Famer, but might be the biggest name out of that one. I don't want to keep all these cards. These are the, this is the checklist card. It looks the same as last year, pretty much. You know, for all I know, that's what they did. They just had the exact same run of images. Well, actually, I know that wasn't the exact same run, because I did have, if you remember from yesterday, I told you that I had the Mike Schmidt ones in my own PC already. There's Tony Gwynn. I don't think that image is the same. But I know that the Tony Gwynn Juan Samuel, I don't remember, was on that one. The Mike Schmidt versions I have in my own PC of him, they're different. The image of Mike Schmidt is the same, but the pictures on the card with him are slightly different. So I know they took some time to, you know, shake things up a bit, but I don't know if they did a really good job. I got a different one here. The Steve Sachs one, this one here, is one I didn't have from yesterday's thing. So I am getting a couple different. There's your Reggie Jackson image. I am getting a couple different players here, which is good. I'd like to hope. Again, yesterday I got, out of 32 sheets, I was only able to pull 23 of those out of that pack. The others I couldn't find. So sometimes you get this with that. If you look at this, it was a cellophane sheet, and I'm assuming that this is the way, this little perforated edged here, the actual sheet came to the company for printing and cutting and collating, and this one just got miscut because it ended up on the edge of the cutting surface and got cut bad. Here's Robin Yount. I didn't have Robin Yount yesterday at all, if you watch through the whole thing. And so yeah, I'm hoping to get them all today. And again, I just think these are really a cool product. It's one of those oddball sets. And if you know me as a set collector, one of the things everybody does is collect the big main sets. But I mean, I've watched Blue Jacket 66, I think it's 66, and the Mangini collection. I watch those YouTube channels a lot. And I like the oddball stuff that they highlight. Here's Rod Carew, Carlton Fisk. I like all of the oddball stuff they show, the regional food issues. You know, I mean, I've got a lot of regional food issues. Burger King sets of over the years. Coca-Cola teams from '81. All of the crazy Fleers from the mid '80s. So I try to collect all of those weird random sets of people and teams and card collections and whatnot as part of this. Being a set collector, I love those little sets. You know, the great thing about the little sets, one of the things that's super cool is I always tell people, there's the Kmart set in '82. It was 44 cards, and it highlighted the MVPs over the last few years, you know, going back into the 60s, I believe, with some Mickey Mantle cards. There's Ozzie Smith, Tom Seaver. And that box set, because it was a Kmart distribution, they made millions upon millions of that little 44 card box set. And that 44 card box set. Oh, here's an interesting one. I got a single one in this. I guess it evened out. This pack only had one sheet in it. You know, my first one had two. This guy only had one. That's kind of a ripoff, but at the same time, I guess it evened out there then, didn't it? Well, still, I would have liked a better one. But that little box set from Kmart in '82 cost you like $5 at Kmart at the time. They made so many of them. You can get that set pretty much for 50 cents if you look hard enough, and if somebody's being honest enough as a seller. And what you can get in there are some of the all-time greats and Hall of Famers. There's Pete Rose. I didn't get the Pete Rose yesterday at all. Ricky Henderson, too. There's my Mike Schmidt. The players on this card are different. He's got Sandberg with him today. They're different from the '84 version, although the images are sometimes the same, where the foot is different. So you can get all of those great big-name players in these sets, and almost exclusively the big-name players, you know? So for like a couple bucks, 50 cents in that case, you can get the best players of the day, superstars of the game's history for 50 cents. And I always thought to myself, well, there's really no better way to get cards of superstars than to buy those inexpensive sets. Now, some people don't want to try and collect them all. Some people want are player collectors, so they do this out of habit. But if you're a young player, I always tell people this: how else are you going to get a Ty Cobb card? How else are you going to get a Babe Ruth card? You know, you're never going to get yourself a 33 Gowdy Ruth. You're never going to get yourself a T206. There's the Cal Ripken head card shot. That's all he got was a head, not a full body shot. You're never going to get yourself a full original Ty Cobb card without buying some kind of reprint or similar style set. You know, you're just not gonna, it's not gonna happen. So getting these inexpensive reprints, I think, is a great way for a young collector to get fantastic cards of the game's greats. And that's one of the reasons I did so much of those. I bought so many of these oddball sets, reprint sets, and things like that, because a lot of people collect only for value. I do not. You know, I barely notice the value of my cards. I mean, we all pay attention. I know how much our cards are worth. I know. But I don't obsess over it. You know, I smile when my card sets go up. I kind of frown a little bit when I realized that my 1984 Topps set isn't worth as much as it was when I was a kid. And I laugh that we all paid $30 for a Donruss set when it first came out in the late 80s, and now it's worth $5. Dickie Thon was another one. Bruce Sutter. This is one I didn't have in the '84 set. Bruce Sutter. So, you know, I'm not about the value as much as I am about collecting and having one of everything, so to speak. You know, getting all of the great cards in my collection to say I have them, and that's why I'm not a big PSA guy. You know, let's be honest, people. If you're a value collector, and if what's important to you is the value of your card collection, then you have to PSA slab everything. The value is in the slab. I mean, you can have what you consider to be a PSA 10, and I'll use Mike Schmidt as an example. A Mike Schmidt rookie card today, raw. A raw Schmidt. I don't care what condition it is. Maybe it'll be a premium, a little bit of a premium for one that looks like a 10. But if you get a raw Mike Schmidt card, it's a $100 card, okay? When I started collecting in the late 90s, when I started really collecting in the late 90s, or not late 90s, the early 90s, right around the switch from the 80s to the 90s, when I really got obsessed with collecting again, it was at least $150 to $200 for a Mike Schmidt rookie card. It's 30 years later, people, and it's only a $100 card now. Why? Because you have to get it slabbed. If you get a PSA 7 Mike Schmidt rookie these days, that's about a $500 card. You know, you get an 8, you're at $1,000 to $1,500. You get a 9, you're at $5 to $6 grand. And I think the last time I saw a 10 sell, it was about north of 100,000 for a Mike Schmidt rookie PSA 10. Why is that? You know, well, I got another one that's just one in a sheet. Look at this. Now I'm starting to get bummed. Here's a quality control on this, guys. I got just one here. It's the Gary Carter one. I don't think I have the Gary Carter yet for this year. But yeah, that's where the value is. That's why people get it slabbed. That's where the money is. In a way, it makes sense as far as I understand it. Because another one, look at this. Another pack with just one sheet in it. That's very annoying. Very annoying. The people who buy, the people who want the top graded cards are the people who have the money. You know, these Wall Street investors or, I don't know. I don't want to claim I know what these people do for a living, but wealthy collectors want the perfect card. They want to say they have the best card. They want to say they have the most beautiful version of all of these cards. And the grading companies cater to those people. I mean, shoot, it's $50 just to get a card graded. I mean, why would I take a card like this, which some people I've seen PSA slab these. Why would I take a 10-cent sheet like this, spend $50 to get it slabbed as a 10, and then be able to sell it for $15? Where's the money in it? Where's the point in that? So the only thing that's worth slabbing are those, you know, I've seen people do PSA 10 rips, you know, or not rips. I've seen people do PSA 10 reveals, and you can see the disgust in them. When they get back a card, they were thrilled to have this card. Look at this card. Look how beautiful this card is. So they send it in, and it comes back an 8 or a 7 instead of a 10. And it's almost like that card, which they were so thrilled to have a second ago, is now worthless to them. What changed? You know, the only thing that changed is the fact that now their beautiful card isn't worth what they thought it was. You know, still the same beautiful card. In fact, now they even put it in a pretty little plastic holder to make it even look better, if you think about it. But they hate that card now because the grade isn't good enough for them anymore. Here's a nice one here. This is a very Hall of Fame heavy card. Molitor, Brett, Dawson. Yeah, that whole grading thing kind of gets my blood boiling a little bit because, again, I'm not a PSA guy. I have PSA cards. I actually do purchase some PSA cards considering value, thinking about the value of the cards. So I am not immune to this disease, but that is by no means the main focus of my collection. Building sets of every imaginable baseball card and card style. That is the focus of my sets. And the vast, vast majority of my collection will never be graded. In fact, the majority of my cards, someday I'd like to have in binders, you know, because I like to look at my cards. If you can't look at your cards, if all of your cards are in boxes on a shelf or in bins and in drawers somewhere, well, what's the fun in that? Now, you gotta keep them safe because of the light and so forth and so on. But don't you want to be able to show off your cards to your friends? Don't you want to be able to sit there in your man cave or your she shed and enjoy the cards you have? I mean, one of the interesting things about the Mangini collection, I think it's John Mangini. Sorry if I got your name there wrong, Mr. Mangini, but is his tagline is, I like to look at some baseball cards, you know? And that's what we all do. We like to look at baseball cards. We like to look at cards. It's the most fun thing in the world to pick up a baseball card, hold it in your hand, and look at it and admire everything about it. And too few people do that. Too few people will take a card, hold it, and look at everything about that card. They'll just thumb through it. Hey, is this a parallel or rookie card? Is this a numbered insert? Is this an autograph? Nope. Move on to the next one. That's why, you know, the only thing that has value today, the only thing, are the parallels and inserts. Every other card on the face of the planet is a dime card, a nickel card, you know, a dollar card maybe if you got a rare brand. But only the parallels of the inserts have value in today's world. And that's a sad thing. You know, it really is. But at the same time, it makes it easier for me to acquire my Mike Schmidt cards that no one else wants. Try to look at the positives, people. Here I am whining and moaning about everything. So, all right. So we're 20 minutes in again. I went through the whole box. It looks like I got another good group. I hope you enjoyed going through it again with me. I will put again, there's no numbers here. I can't easily go through there and find all the cards. It's going to take me 10, 15 minutes just for 32 cards to make sure I have all of them, to go through a checklist of some sort and double check all of that. I'm not going to do that on camera with you. I think I'm going to have to invest in some editing software right now. I don't have anything. I film all my videos, every one, in a straight, long take because I don't have any kind of editing software to splice together different takes. I don't have any ability to add any graphics or text. So right now I'm still a little low tech, but you know, I just got to 100 subs. So I think it's time for me to invest in some editing software. That way, if I do another one of these breaks, I can splice together a little film later on where I say, hey, I made it. I got all 32 sheets, see? And go through it with you at the end. But in this case, I've done what I could do for you. I will put down in the comments below if I made it to 32. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is the last box I have for a while to open, so my next video will be back to the standard Schmidt random item, baseball random item, and trivia question that I enjoy doing so much. I hope you guys enjoy those too, because that's my normal way to do videos. So I want to thank you for checking in. Keep watching. Take care.